Good day, this is chapter 1 of wood stoving. I have here a stage set up in Fusion 360 to explain some of the terms, concepts, and definitions of wood stoving. On the left here we have a wood stove. We call it a wood stove because you can walk around it. If it's an insert, it's in masonry and you can't really see the back of it. This wood stove is on a non-combustible surface here. It's got 4 legs and 3 sections of stack with 1 exterior stack and a cap. The cap is to let the exhaust gases out, but also let rainwater not go into the stove and down the tube. If you have a wood stove, you should be able to go to the back of it and there'll be a metal placard with the model, serial number, heat output, what emissions tests it has passed, and clearances to combustibles. An insert is usually more difficult to read that placard. It is best to photograph it before it is inserted into the masonry chimney. I have drawn a combustion air channel here. I will highlight the air door. On a wood stove, you manipulate this air door, usually pushing it in closes the door in the middle of the stove, and pulling it out opens it all the way up. And the opening is roughly 2 inches by 2 inches. It's not very large. The air then goes into the wood stove. I have a little firebox drawn here. And there's a little block in your wood stove here with a hole that goes this way. I'll draw. The airflow goes this way. You wouldn't have this hole on this side. It makes it easier to talk about if I draw it in there. So 80% of your air that comes into the wood stove would go straight down the center of the wood stove and bounce off the back wall, go up the back, and then out this way. Let's see if I can draw this. The burner tubes have little holes in them that blow air so that it can go around this shelf here. Fire brick is a good thing to have in your wood stove. It keeps the burning wood separated from the iron. You tend to have rapid oxidation if you have metal in the middle of a reaction zone for a fire. Typically 80% of your combustion air is going to come in right in the center to the back wall, and the other 20% is going to be through these tubes and an air wash that keeps the glass clean. So you have a general turning of air, and then it escapes and goes around this and then out. Also know that the air going in cold rapidly heats up and is much less dense and moves quicker around corners. I'm going to clear the drawing and finish drawing. Alright, so we've gone through components, the stack, secondary burner tubes. A catalytic converter would be above where the burner tubes are placed here, somewhere in this area or low on the stack. If your stove has a catalytic converter, it will not have burner tubes. And if it has burner tubes, it is not a catalytic stove. This is a rule of thumb. I'm sure there are exceptions. So those are the elements and terms of a wood stove.